Ready? Stay right there. Chin down a little bit for me. Today we'll be working in Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, which is an editing program that I use to edit my portraits and photos with great speed, accuracy, and it looks very good. After you've imported your images to Adobe Lightroom, go into the edit section, which is on the top right. It has all of these 3 bars and the sliders where you can actually begin to work. So what you want to do, you want to actually go in to the program, open up the file that you have, and you want to go straight to the healing brush. This brush has 2 different modes. I use clone. What clone does is it copies another area in the photo that matches it so that everything is nice and smooth and it doesn't look like any blemishes. Now I do this in this particular cyc wall, and then I save it for later. So now I zoom in. What you want to do is zoom into blemishes. You want to zoom into the photo itself and get down to the nitty-gritty. You want to go to every imperfection or uneven area in the photo. Sorry, I have to go back. Yeah, this is the photo I was working on. Yeah, so you want to position your subject so you can work and see everything clearly. You hover over that photo and you look at the image. You want to take that healing brush on the clone side and clone. You shrink the cursor down, shrink it down, and as you can see, there's a scar right here. And you shrink it down real small and go over any areas, whether it's a straight line or a circle. Try to mimic the pattern. Use your mouse to do that. Go over every little speckle. That's what I do to get flawless photos. As you can see, more spaces here. Go back to widening it. Sometimes people have not so clear eyes. Sometimes you might have to go into the eyes. But on this particular photo, I don't have to go into the eyes. I'll just stick to the skin. Every little spot. So after a while, it's going to look like your subject has chicken pox, but it's not so. You just have to make sure you're doing it right. After you put that healing brush over there, now you want to take that brush, the brush area, and smoothen it out. How do you do that? You slide that texture bar to the left and you circle. This is what I do. I circle the areas that I just used the Band-Aid healing brush to clone. You circle those areas. This way everything is nice and smooth. You don't want to overdo it. You want to circle the areas. Stay away from lips and eyes. Do not smoothen out eyes, because you want your eyes to be super sharp. You want that makeup to look flawless. So certain areas in the eyes, you don't want to over smoothen it out. Now, some people's images look like AI when they're done retouching. I personally don't like to do photos like that. If it was an AI photo that you wanted, you could do that on yourself. But with this tool as a photographer, you're able to nail it and make it look as real as possible without that super AI cartoon look. As you can see here, I am smoothing out the skin, smoothing out the neck area. Everything has to look super smooth. First and foremost, you must start with a great makeup artist. That helps a big deal. So that this process in the photography is a lot easier. As you can see here, I am smoothing out the background area. the psych wall that I shot at in the studio didn't have the smoothest background. I use a psych wall. You could use either a psych wall or sometimes a paper backdrop. Paper backdrops are very good, but you know, sometimes they get damaged. I'm used to shooting on a psych wall. It doesn't matter, but make sure you get those flaws out of your psych wall behind the subject or your backdrop using the same healing tool that you use on the subject. It's a nifty tool. It's a great tool. I also can boost up the exposure and mess with the contrast a little bit. You want to play with these sliders to get the best look. Take your time, never rush a retouched photo. Sometimes I move pretty fast, but sometimes people have to put it down and then come back to it. The average retouch photo may take me anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes even, if it's a lot going on with the subject and their face and imperfections. But this is the process. Always watch the meters. Look at your highlighted areas. And you never want to over retouch a photo neither. You want to make it as perfect as possible. And as they say, you have to have an eye for photography. So sometimes you might want to take some steps in comparing what you did before and after. As you can see here, we have the retouched image that we've been working on, which it didn't take that long. Took an average between 5 to 10 minutes. Before, after, before, after, before, after. And that's how you retouch images in Lightroom. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. This is Visuals and Vibes. I am your host, Hugh Hayes.
Visuals by Hugh.